We met in Article 50 format with Michel Barnier, the chief negotiator, but without the Prime Minister of the UK, Theresa May. We adopted the draft guidelines, the 9 points that you'll have seen today, and also agreed to the joint report that was agreed last week, and that allows us now to move on to phase 2 of the talks. In terms of what's going to happen in the new year, there'll be a number of seminars in January, about 5 dealing with particular sectoral issues, and we'll move on now to negotiating the withdrawal agreement, which will be an international agreement, will be legally binding, and will reflect as far as is possible what was in the joint report last week. And also we'll get on to talking about the transition period. Certainly the view of the European Union is that the transition period should run for about 2 years. It shouldn't be renewable, it shouldn't roll over, it should be time limited. And during that period, the United Kingdom would remain bound by the rules of the customs union, the single market, the ECJ, and would continue to pay into the budget as a result. So that's the EU negotiating position, if you like, and we'll need to discuss that with the UK in the months ahead. We're going to need to agree the future relationship, the new final relationship that will exist between the UK and the EU, and we'd like to have that done in principle by March 2019. There's a view around the table that we shouldn't be spending the transition phase negotiating the new EU-UK relationship. We should try to have that done, or as much as possible, to have that done before the UK leaves the EU in March 2019. So the transition phase is a genuine transition phase. People know what they're transitioning to, rather than a further negotiation phase. But obviously that's quite challenging, and getting these things done by then is going to be difficult. I never thought Brexit was a good idea, I still don't, but I accept that that decision is made, and the people of the UK have made that decision. So my job as Prime Minister of Ireland, as Taoiseach, is as much as possible to try to retain the status quo that exists. The fact that we can, as Irish people and as British people, travel freely between Britain and Ireland, travel freely north and south, and that we can trade freely north and south and between Britain and Ireland. And everything that I'm doing is trying to defend the status quo, the existing rights of people and the existing freedoms that our businesses have.